We are live right now. Welcome, 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 welcome. It's been a moment, man, but we have made it yet again to another vibrations here on this Brbptv live interaction reaction, guys. Bless up all yourself one time. And it's been a minute since I've actually been on this thing, man. It's just been up and down, but we are finally back. We finally made it to yet another vibes on this here Brbptv live interaction reaction. Cool Mick, big up yourself one time. I see you in the building. This thing is just updated, so I have to figure this thing kind of out right now. But Cool Mick, big up yourself. Where are you guys watching from? I'm not even seeing how many people are on this thing at present. Okay. Yes, guys. We're gonna be talking about a number of interesting stuff here on this live interaction reaction. I'm your boy Mr. Licks, and let me see. Okay, I'm seeing it now. 5 individuals are in the building, guys. Welcome to another vibration with your boy Mr. Licks on this year Brbptv live interaction reaction vibes, man. It's been a moment, like I indicated before. It's been a minute. And of course, Cool Mick, I see you there. Cool Mick, Maho. Okay, big up the Maho massive one time. I appreciate you guys for definitely tuning in to see what's up on this here Sunday vibrations. I also have to share this stuff as well. So let me do so right there. You guys can also share it. I would appreciate you guys sharing this stuff out so other people can also see that I'm on. And yeah, it's been a minute. Like I indicated, as usual, I always tend to give around 10 minutes to let more people come in to see what's up. And of course, when we're doing the reaction, we can definitely do so. Of course, we're going to be reacting to Mr. Andy Jolly's, so to speak, exposure of the lawyer Fraternity in Dominica. Because sometimes we tend to wonder what on earth is going on, brothers and sisters, with the judicial system. And we tend to always feel like we are being taken advantage of. I'm sure a number of you guys actually feel that way. Those who have dealt with the fraternity, the lawyer fraternity, or the judicial fraternity, so to speak. And we're going to be talking about or reacting to that vibe right there. Of course, let me share this stuff out. Like I indicated before, I wish you guys also share the stuff as well so that others can see that we are on like onion. But definitely, guys, let me know where you guys are watching from. I would appreciate you guys definitely doing so. And of course, let's get into this discussion, man. Let's get into it right there. Okay, volume clear. Everything is very clear. Hopefully, you guys are seeing me. What's going on here? What's going on here? Okay, this is okay. I was like, why did it cut off? But yes, guys, we are in the building yet again, once again. And of course, by the way, guys, I'm going to be doing a reaction on this one as well. The one I'm reacting to tonight is actually November 18th. For some of you guys who actually are part of the Mr. Licks Reaction channel, guys, I definitely hope you guys go and subscribe to the channel if you're not part of this. That channel is where I tend to react to videos on a daily basis, whether it's political or we're just freeing up. There's also another channel that I want to do as well that is completely removed from the political landscape, but I'm reacting to different videos. One of the things that YouTube definitely wanted me to do was that. So I am going to look into actually starting a channel afresh, completely afresh. So hopefully when I put it out there, you guys will definitely subscribe to it as well if you guys are interested in just freeing up with your boy. And of course, I'm not 100% certain of the channel's name yet, but it'll have something to do with my name or a piece of my name or something of that sort. So we're going to be doing that as well, reacting to different videos, both internationally and regionally. I think that'll be a step or something that I definitely want to do. I used to do it back in the day, guys. I used to do it back in the day. If you guys look at my Mr. Licks vlog channel, you will see that there's a portion of videos where I actually did reactions. I used to call it Mr. Licks commentary, and you can see I used to get, I used to do a lot of numbers on that thing right there. But of course, Um, Go. What's that? Go. What is that? Gorgo. Gorgo. I think you retracted your message. I did not get to see it. Man, I need to share this stuff out. Yeah, let me do so, guys. Let me share this stuff out right there. Let me just share this stuff out right there. So folks can tune in. I also have to share it to my stuff, my WhatsApp, guys. Like I indicated before, definitely share it out as well. So that others can see. I think. Okay. Hopefully you guys having a wonderful time, man. Hopefully everything is going your way today, and we can just take things one step at a time. I think it's vital for that as well. Okay. Okay, guys. I think I put it out there. I think much people won't come to this one since I'm not regularly doing this stuff, but it's unfortunate that has happened as a result of certain circumstances that I had to definitely do. But of course, I see Cool Mick Baho in the building. A number of you guys actually here. 4. Wow. Okay. Don't forget, guys, to click the thumbs up button. I would appreciate you guys definitely doing so. I'm not really seeing. Is this recent? Anyways, guys, I put this stuff out there. Where are we? We are we. Okay, we have 2 more minutes, guys. I'm going to stay in on this thing before we get into the reaction vibrations. Where are you guys watching from? Talk to your boy right there. I know it's been a minute, like I indicated before. I haven't been on this stuff, so I don't expect much people to be on this. But we still going to be doing this, and I'll be doing another follow-up, like I indicated before. I'll be doing a follow-up on this one right there. I think I'll be doing it next week. But there has also been some new information that I was brought to light, to my understanding, where they're saying that the reaction that I actually did on Thursday, I think it was, they said that I missed a number of points for the 19th. So this one is the 18th of November. I actually reacted to doing a little snippet highlight on the 19th. And there have been some more information that was brought to my attention that folks thought I would need to bring to light. So I'm definitely going to be trying to do that as well on Monday, do a follow-up. And of course, guys, don't forget to click the like button as well. Of course, if you would definitely want to leave a contribution of sorts, you can definitely do so via sticker on this thing. You don't have to, but the contributions always help. I see Alpha Allen, big up yourself. Giro Del Massive. Usually when I normally start, there's a number of foreigners in the building, but hey, I don't blame people either, guys. I don't blame people since I don't tend to do this as regularly as I should. But I definitely want to be doing more of these stuff right there. I see a number of persons coming in. Where are you guys watching from? I have about 30 seconds before I actually start this stuff. So where are you guys watching from? Of course, we have Cool Mick in the building. He's from Maho, or she's from Maho. I'm not really sure what's the gender, but then we have Alpha as well from Girardel. So Mao and Girardel in the building. And of course, as time goes by, we'll get more people to come into the live reaction interaction right there. So of course, about 15 seconds, guys, we're going to get into it. And of course, don't forget to click the thumbs up button, click the like button, helping to push these videos further and further. And of course, we'll be doing more of this thing. My background might end up changing as well. the next time I do this live interaction. I'm gonna try to do it every Sunday, guys. So hopefully I get to pull that off right there for you guys, no doubt about it. And we can definitely have some fun, man. I think that is vital for us to do right there. I definitely need to do more of these as well. Man, not woman. Okay, sorry about that. Big up yourself one time, sir. And thanks for tuning in right there. Anyways, guys, we're gonna get into this right now. Let me make sure I have what's going on here.
Formal occasion.
A formal occasion.
Yeah.
Dress nice and formal, okay?
Why is it doubled?
So only 250.
Yeah.
Folks, it was a pleasure this afternoon.
Really, our listeners will have to really
have lost their money. People have lost their
Guys, I'm hearing two.
dignity with Kondwani Williams.
No, something's wrong there. I'm hearing two audios. Are you guys hearing two audios as well?
And they have turned the other way. And nobody, as of now.
Oh, it's coming back to me.
Understand?
Hello, talk to me. Yeah, sorry about that. Somebody was trying to call in, but
Are you guys hearing double, or is it only me? Because I'm hearing double on this thing. And if I mute this, I don't think it's gonna come through. So what's going on? No. Okay, so I'm the only one hearing double here, which is interesting. Okay, well, let's continue, guys. Let's get it.
you feel free to participate in the conversation because I just find it very funny there, you know. And I've been getting a lot of complaints. You know, somebody just
Tremendous amount of
called me
complaints.
from London and said that they actually bought a property over close to $500,000, and the attorney gave them just a fraction of that.
But Matt, that can happen. Because here's the thing. Keep in mind, the attorney is the one that you have.
Okay, guys, hold on. Let me bring that back. I think we
I
went
have to
earlier on.
You're not sorry.
Friends gather around me with holiday cheer. Yeah, they say to forget, to let you go. You're not here. Well, I can't keep explaining what they're meant. Kaiso. Yes, the Calico season is upon us. Saturday, December 13, 2025. At the factory.
Okay, that's not what we're looking into. Let's continue.
Sitting only $30. Come here, 25. Remember, important call. Creole à secure. Tout le monde créole pour attention. Comité. Discussion.
Let's find the starting, guys. Let's find the starting.
Are we gonna hear this time? Of course, we have. You know, for some time I've been talking about lawyers in Dominica. I've been getting a lot of complaints. Some lawyers, I didn't say all lawyers, but some lawyers are living up to their responsibilities. And some poor people who do not know better find themselves being fleeced by these lawyers. But what you find a lot of times is that these legal professionals hate taking up cases against their fellow. And they say it's a club.
It is. Well, I'm saying it's a club.
So they won't fight down another lawyer. So it seems it's a club out there. They're protecting each other. And the poor people are made to suffer as a result. I just want to say it's not all lawyers. %80 of lawyers protect each other.
Wow.
Andy, what do you say as much
Well,
as that?
well, if 80%, that's a significant number, Matt.
So you think I'm giving them too much?
I think it's right about clear. I think if you have that percentage, you might as well call it all. I think 80% is a passing grade in school.
Yep.
80% of a
That's a
market
lot.
is pretty much a significant portion.
80% occupancy is
a good rate.
A good rate.
And not only that, Matt, the problem is that you have to sift through all the lawyers to find the good ones. And the question is, what differentiates the good from the bad? That's a big question that we can ask.
So what grade would you give if you were grading them from say 1 to 10? What would be your grade for the lawyers in Dominica? Brutally honest with me.
It's very hard to say, Matt. That oversees attorneys, and that's unbelievable. Pharmacists.
But I've been hearing for some time that they're going to pass this bill, but I haven't heard
Since 2016, to be accurate, that this bill has been in there, and there might be some pressure from the top not to pass.
So why the hesitation, though?
You know, that's a good question, Matt. I think there's a lot of power on the top from a lot of the top attorneys that do business, whether it be the government or in the countries.
I agree.
Generally cannot be done in any other country or any other place in the world, and they're enriching themselves based on the rules that they've made up.
You're saying enriching themselves?
Well, yeah, I mean, they're obviously getting rich, and
Facts.
I think
Facts.
if I was a lawyer and you have something good going on that's bringing millions of dollars to you by not using your money or being able to use other people's money to do things, I think I would want to continue that.
It's not a rule, though. You keep people's money in trust. You know,
It's not a rule. It's a law. You're supposed to keep people's money. It's a law, not a rule. It's a law. Unfortunately, the laws have not passed in Dominica yet. Everywhere else in the Caribbean, this is how. In fact, attorneys in Dominica go to the exact same attorney school that any lawyer would go to. Any legal profession you'd go to, and there's something called ethics. And I think that's the class that we might have skipped in Dominica. The ethics.
You mean the law?
Ethics.
It's unfortunate.
The professional law of ethics. I think that class we skipped. So I think there's a problem with our ethical behavior when it comes to attorneys, simply because, as I said, there is no law on the books that governs the system. Therefore, the system is being taken advantage of. But not just the poor people, Matt. When you have to think about it, it's not just the people like that go do businesses with these attorneys. You have to understand, in order for these lawyers to do this, they are actually taking money from the country. So tax revenue that they would have paid to Dominica, whether it be in the portion of VAT or whether it be in the portion of personal taxes, this is a big tax evasion scheme. So these attorneys are really going about using people's money. They're actually doing tax evasion. And not only that, there's a few other financial crimes that we could probably put to it that are being done. Because again, this money is being transferred, used for different schemes, used for different projects, and most of these things are being done out of Dominica.
So offshore banks then?
Somewhere.
You mean they're taking your money? And they're talking about you generally.
They're taking the money,
right,
and they're sending overseas in investments, hoping that.
But it's not their money, Andy.
I know.
That's the point. That's the point, Matt. It's not their money, but somehow it's like they feel like it's their money to take and do whatever they want to do with it.
Help Dominica, so I don't understand why legally our country has made this acceptable. It's incredible. I just don't understand it. I mean, this is one of the biggest. I mean, if Matt, a couple years ago,
right,
and you can read the Panama Papers. Remember, we had a prime minister in England that got caught moving about $10,000 in the incorrect way, and he had to resign the office in England. You can look it up. I mean, they made him resign. They forced him to resign.
The funny thing about what Andy is saying right there, guys, it seems like there's no accountability factor. It seems like people just are able to do whatever they want, and there's no accountability factor. In fact, there's a bill that was put forth actually some years ago. I think about if I'm correct, I think about since 2004 or since 1998, I think, even before that, where the situation with holding lawyers accountable was put forth, and there's some sort of bill that had to be passed. And I think when it actually was brought forth to the public, that's about 15 years for them to actually see if they can pass it to so that they can hold lawyers accountable. And apparently that bill has just been sitting there doing absolutely nothing. So as a result of it not being passed, then that means lawyers are able to do whatever they want without any consequences at all.
To understand that money and the legality of money has rules. But in Dominica, none of these rules are enforced.
I've been in this business for many years. I never heard a lawyer being debarred.
Because the bar has zero power in Dominica. In fact, the Bar Association in Dominica is non-existent.
There should be a powerful organization there.
The bar should be the regulatory body for any attorney or any attorney, like, for example, if you had a legal assistant in some way, or if you had a legal practice, the bar should be the one. In fact, that's why they call it the bar. You're supposed to set the bar high. You understand? And these lawyers,
And you don't think they are?
oh, I know they're just not. The bar is non-existent. In fact,
But I mean, what Andy is saying there makes a lot of sense, guys. You know why? Because if you look at how the system is running in the judicial, for justice, let's just say for justice, sometimes matters are being prolonged. If not most times, but sometimes matters are being prolonged, and you tend to wonder why haven't they decided to call these matters? Why haven't they decided to, hey, let's move forward so we can get this thing settled? Why? I have a particular case with against the government, brothers and sisters, and that I think that matter is since 2021. We won the first one. There's a second one that has to follow through, and it seems like they don't really care to even try to bring this one forward. I mean, everything was going fine and dandy, so to speak, quote unquote. We're having at least two times meeting. We had a medial situation, and then it just went cold turkey. It just went cold turkey. I don't know if it's the lawyers that are doing this. I don't know if it's the government that are doing this. Something is happening where, you cannot get effective justice, not just for me, but for others as well. I'm sure this has happened to them. Even there are many judges that have actually come to Dominica and realized that cases are piling up and piling up and piling up. And nothing is being done to actually alleviate that problem. And if nothing is being done to alleviate that problem, then we have a problem right there, brothers and sisters, because that itself is a problem. The problem creating a problem. So that's wild, man. Let's continue.
the attorney that actually runs the Bar Association, Noeliza Knight, has told me personally that the bar is a non-functioning organization in Dominica. We do not have a bar in Dominica.
It's not functioning. Can any one of you guys tell me, those who are actually on this thing, can any one of you guys tell me what is the point of the bar? What is the point of the Bar Association? What have they done? What have they done?
Why would you say that, Joe?
Well, because there's no power
Because it's true.
associated with it. In fact, if the bar had to reprimand somebody, the only thing the bar in Dominica could do is send a letter to them and said, please be on your best behavior.
But then again, when it looks, boy, guys, sometimes I tend to go much deeper than, I should. But I'm thinking not just of the Bar Association and the justice system, the judicial system. I'm also thinking about the situation that happened with Vescott as well. They did him wrong. They did Vescott wrong. There was a tribunal and all this kind of process taking place. And for 10 years, absolutely nothing was happening. Just for the Prime Minister to come in and say, hey, let's reinstate him. 10 years, nothing at all. And then we look at the justice system, especially for the court situations or certain court matters that are being prolonged. So what is the whole point of the Bar Association in the first place? I think that is a reasonable question to ask.
They could do nothing else. They couldn't sanction this person. They couldn't make the person lose their license. They cannot take any legal action. And hence the association that we have with this, I don't want to say a boys club, but the club, the attorney club, everybody protects everybody.
Yep.
Nobody wants to go against anybody because they feel like this is ill-suited to go against your fellow man. It's amazing.
In the U.S., one law would grab it up, grab the opportunity.
That would happen in a heartbeat, and simply because it's a clear judgment. I mean, you go against the rules, you are disciplined by the Bar Association, you are disciplined by your peers. Not only that, Matt, here it is in Dominica, we do not have reverence for our peers. In fact, if your peer is doing something wrong, more than likely, if you tell them what it is, they would ask you to join. You would ask them to join in. So it's a club that, hey, how can we do better together rather than how can we make sure we do better? And this is not in the interest of the
Of the
Dominican
people, nope.
Because if you have a country that has no legal platform where things are not done in an order, expect that country to move forward. How can you expect investors to come in and feel protected that their money is safe? Or if something does go wrong, how can you expect justice for it? And I'm going to tell you, Matt, it's so sad that this profession is this way. And I myself, I've been dealing with a case for a little while. I'm going to tell you, it has been the most difficult thing to deal with.
Have you given up, though?
No, I won't give up. I'm going to tell you, there is no giving up. Justice will be served.
And that's one of the things that in Dominica, we keep calling ourselves resilient people. Is there you have to be resilient, brothers and sisters. Sometimes when you think that the system is supposed to take care of you and provide the right set of processes and carry out justice, sometimes you just have to be resilient and keep staying on task, kind of like what Vescott did, staying on task for 10 years. It could be like, man, I'm fed up with this, man, I'm fed up with this, hey, whatever. Just like I interviewed Guaye, when Guaye was talking about the situation involving with his land. And we're talking about doing things and trying to get things, done amicably instead of breaking the law. But it's saying the people who are supposed to hold the law or do or be under the law don't care about the law in the first place. This is why you have things like people going out there and accepting bribes and treating the people and all those kind of things in broad daylight. And then what comes from it? Absolutely nothing. So apparently the law is made for some, not for all. I see somebody make a comment right there. Gorgo, pick up yourself one time. The name is Gordon. For some reason, I realized the spelling was wrong. So pick up yourself, Gordon. All right. I logged out to correct it, but it's taking a little time. Yeah, it'll take about 24 hours before it rectifies your name right there. So thanks for telling me that right there.
When necessary, it will be served. I am going to tell you, there's no giving up. There's wrong that has been done, and the universe has a way of correcting itself. It has to be balanced. Matt,
Somebody might tell you, Andy, you know how Dominicans think. You have to forgive and forget.
but I'm not Dominican.
Forgive and forget. So somebody has done you wrong. They have stolen your money, or the state has done you bad. And you're saying the best thing. Well, I'm not saying he says the best thing, but he's saying there's something called forgive and forget. Do you think that justice on a matter should be like, okay, forgive and forget? Even Jesus Christ, brothers and sisters, Jesus Christ knew when you forgive your sins, somebody had to pay the consequence, Somebody had to die for your sin, So forgive and forget, there's always consequence. So who bears the consequence for forgive and forget? You are the one who was done wrong. You are the one who has to bear the consequence for somebody doing you wrong.
100%. That's the problem. I was born here, I was raised here, but I do not understand how this country operates. And I'm going to tell you, Matt, I'm going to put the other pin in it. I think our police force, our financial unit, which is what FSU that we have here, FIU, our financial ministers, our tax, which we have the inland revenue here. We don't have the IRS. These people should be looking at that. You have tax evasion, you have financial fraud taking place, then you have money laundering, you have wiring of people's assets. I mean, how many crimes we can count 6 or 7 crimes on the table?
Guys, it's kind of crazy when a lawyer decides to take your money. You pay the lawyer to do something for you. The lawyer decides, you know what? I'm going to take that money you give me to do things for you, and I'm going to do for myself. Or when it comes on to certain situations involving land, the lawyer takes your land paper, has it there under his or her watch, and decides, I'm going to try to wait as long as possible. Hopefully you die, so I can decide I'm going to take control of your land. Because keep in mind, the lawyer then acts on the behalf of the client. And if the lawyer is acting on the behalf of the client, then that gives the lawyer the right to the client's asset. So if the person in charge of this land dies or something has happened, then the lawyer has the right to do what they deem, not based off, because remember, there's no accountability factor there. So they can decide, I'm going to take your land. There's also a situation where I've heard of a particular individual putting somebody's family land in a, what do you call that, a trust? Is it a trust? Or part of a board of directors, and the lawyer put themselves on that board of directors of the people's parents' land. And then, because they're now part of the board of directors, decide to choose to sell the land. Can you believe that this is happening, brothers and sisters? Boy, some of us have no clue what is going on in Dominica when it comes down to the law. Fraternity.
That I have experienced. And I'm going to tell you, not one of these services.
How many years are we talking about? You've been going through this problem.
I've been going through this process for 3.5 years now. We gave
nobody did anything.
We gave Kondwani Williams a contract to transfer a property that we purchased.
I want to go back to the story.
Yes.
Where did that start?
Guys, I want you guys to listen to this. And this is just one isolated incident. Take a listen.
I think it started very simple. We purchased the property, simple, which is, Matt, people purchase properties every day. The contracts were given to Kondwani by Jolly's Pharmacy to go ahead and make sure that these were legally transferred into Jolly's Pharmacy's name. Literally, there was a call made and an invoice sent across saying everything is ready to be taken care of. We sent in the funds to take care of everything, meaning attorney fees, transfer property monies, as well as the cost to pay to the vendor for transferring that property or giving us the property title on that property. Matt, it's been 3.5 years now. April 2022. We are now.
You have the dates in mind?
We are very clear dates. In fact, I've submitted all the paperwork to the police once, and then I've submitted all the paperwork to our attorneys twice, and I've gone through them in detail. You can see all the transfers that were done. However, Matt.
So you transfer it to the police. There's some sort of illegality that has taken place for some reason or the other. And the police did absolutely nothing about this man. It'll be interesting. I think I need to bring Andy on the podcast, man. I think I need to bring him back again on the podcast. We'll see how that goes, guys.
Since then, we have since lost the deposit that was put down on the property. We have since lost the property that we were dealing with in Kondwani, and there's been no return of the investment money as of yet. A total in $1.5 million. Now, again, this is not the first time this attorney has done this. This is probably, I would say, the 6th or 7th time that I've heard of a case involving ways. But Matt, nobody is stepping up to the plate and putting a stop to this.
That's the problem that I have. Maybe Kondwani had to do something of that sort and had to do this or whatever. I don't know exactly what transpired. But the accountability factor here is who is holding these people accountable? Who? Who is holding the lawyers accountable to when they wrong the citizens? Or when they wrong the clients? Because it's not just in Dominica. I've heard other stories of things happening overseas as well. So who exactly is holding these people to account?
And you know what, Matt? I've personally taken it as an oath to make sure I put a stop to it. Because this needs to stop. The poor people of Dominica should not be taken advantage of by their own people or by their own attorneys.
And keep in mind, he mentioned poor people, guys. If this is happening to guys like him, what exactly is happening to the people who cannot then take these people closure when it comes down to being wronged? Who? Where is the accountability factor in Dominica? There's this particular bill, though, that apparently is still sitting. Guys, hopefully we'll get into that a bit more. Let's just hope. We'll see how that goes right there.
Attorneys need to be responsible for people's funds. Attorneys need to set the highest standard. This is a profession that is a legal profession that should be held to the highest standard in Dominica. But yet it is being deteriorated by bad attorneys doing bad things.
Bad business, yep.
And the attorneys know. I'm going to tell you that, man. I mean, we've sat down with Joshua a couple of times. We've sat down with the attorneys know what they're doing is wrong.
Joshua boy. Guys, boy.
They've admitted to what they're doing is wrong. But yet, nobody has stepped up to the plate to say this needs to change. Everybody knows it's wrong, Matt, but nobody's willing to make the correction. And we have too many things that happens in Dominica which are very similar to this, and everybody's watching it happen and saying, why did it happen to me?
Is there a lawyer taking up your case at this
There is a lawyer taking up the case, a good one at that, and we're going to make sure that it sticks. It's going to be a fight doing it, and I think this attorney has told me in confidence that there are several other cases like mine that are.
Oh my God, brothers and sisters, really? Really? I mean, don't we understand, don't the people who are involved in these kind of things not know what justice is? Justice has a semblance of doing what is right, brothers and sisters, and when wrong is being done, there must be consequences or accountability factor for that wrong being done. And if there are multiple cases like this, that says a lot, eh? Correct me if I'm wrong, but that to me says a lot.
Are coming down the pipeline because they are actually happy that we have brought awareness to this problem. Because Matt,
They're happy?
they're happy. You know why? First of all, this has been happening to people before me.
Yep.
I'm not the first.
And they stay mute.
Long before. Guys, there's some information that I actually gathered. And this kind of thing has been happening long before. It's not just one particular lawyer. This is why the understanding of the lawyers working together, like they are a unit, like they are a group, working together as a unit, not for the betterment of the clients per se, but for the betterment of their group. And when that is happening, then something is drastically wrong with the system. I personally think the government system needs to go, the entire system needs to go, the entire police system needs to go, because there's a set of corruption that happening, brothers and sisters, and you tend to wonder why aren't certain things being solved. For example, the guy that lost his bicycle by 7-Eleven. You mean to tell me, up to now, police cannot find the bicycle? Okay, let's say police, the guy who stole the bicycle decided they're going to paint up and change up stuff, whatever. There are reports that have reached the police station, brothers and sisters, and the police has done absolutely nothing for it. And then it escalates to the point where the violence gets involved with certain people. Case in point, the girl who threw acid or liquid in the other girl's eye. It was brought to my attention that she actually went to the mother actually went to the police station, I think, to report it about twice. And nothing was done. Nothing was done. And if nothing is being done, then what next can be done? Just stay there and say forgive and forget? Is that the situation that is happening in Dominica? We should forgive and forget, you know. They're doing you wrong. They're bullying the girl. The girl cannot take it no more. So she decides she's going to use the same kind of force, so to speak, that she's been receiving from the other girl. And then instead we look for the root of the situation. We decide we're blaming the girl for throwing the waters in the other girl's eye. But there's the root cause, brothers and sisters. This is why I always say, look at the cause. In this day and age, when you see certain information, you need to look at the cause, not just the surface level. Because sometimes we go on Google and we Google things and the answer is there for us not realizing that this is only surface level stuff. And when you dig deeper, you find that, but that surface level is just a cover up for the real woodans that is in the wardrobe.
But people have stayed mute, or the investors which were taken advantage of from overseas, they ran away. They were like, I don't want to be in Dominica. This is not a safe environment.
As he's saying that day, brothers and sisters, reminds me of certain individuals that wanted to come to do business in Dominica. There's one particular one that I knew, a billionaire. He actually moved to Jamaica instead to do the business. There's another one that I know who wanted to do a water company in Dominica. And as a result of what was going on, that completely never happened. It never happened. I met these folks, and we're not talking about the normal run-of-your-mill fellas in the place that say, I want to do business, or people that have left Dominica and go overseas, and they've made a certain amount of monies and decide, hey, I want to come down. No, we're talking about people who are the big boys, who decided they want to do something in Dominica. And I think Dominica, no, you sure it's not Dominican Republic you're thinking about? No, Dominica. I was going to reference something, but let me leave that there. Guys, what are you thinking so far, man? What are you thinking so far? It seems like me alone are talking right now. What do you guys are thinking so far? Leave your thoughts and comments in the live chat. I know some of you guys tend to comment in the comment box, but when we're doing live chats, I don't see the comment box. I only see the live chats. So leave your thoughts and comments in the live chat right there. Also, don't forget to click the thumbs up button. There are 25 of you guys in the building right now. Don't forget to click the thumbs up button, to click the like button to help push these videos further and further out there. It's interesting stuff, man, if you have to take your time and listen to what's going on and actually weigh it on reality. Because I've received a number of information when it comes on to these things, and you say, boy, is this really happening in Dominica? But a lot of people are naive in Dominica, brothers and sisters. We are clueless. A lot of us are clueless as to what exactly is happening. And we're like, in Dominica, that happening? No, sir, that cannot happen in Dominica.
When you get abused, you turn and you run away from your abuser. Sometimes some people stay and fight. And sometimes there really is no justice, because sometimes the fight will beat you up. But I'm going to tell you, many people have run away from the fight. People have lost their land. People have lost their money. People have lost their dignity with Kondwani Williams, and they have turned the other way. And nobody.
Well, I'm not sure about the whole Kondwani Williams situation. I'm sure Andy would know about that situation. But I'm thinking, as he's talking right there, I am thinking of the situation that took place in the international airport with none other than the Guaye individual right there. Guaye, the white Rasta, whatever you want to call him, has indicated that same sentiment. And it seems like they are just waiting to see if he decide given up. But one of the things that we always proud to call ourselves in Dominica is that we are resilient people. It's like we can take our blows and we'll still stay. Guys, that is something else. But why should we be taking blows? Especially in the justice system that is supposed to hold justice. Do what's right. I can understand this.
Nobody, as of now, has ever made a stand. Well, today, Andy decided he's making a stand.
Hello, talk to me. Yeah, sorry about that. Somebody's trying to call in, but you feel free to participate in the conversation, because I just find it very funny there, you know. And I've been getting a lot of complaints. You know, somebody just called me from London and said that they actually bought a property over close to $500,000, and the attorney gave them just a fraction of that.
But Matt, that can happen, because here's the thing. Keep in mind, the attorney is the one that you have engaged in doing business for you. There's no reason not to trust an attorney. This is done all over the world, all over the Caribbean. I have bought several properties myself, and I've dealt with several attorneys. But here's the thing, Matt. This is something that all over the world, somebody says, can you go to an attorney to get a document signed? Can you go to an attorney to transfer your papers? Can you go to an attorney to do a will for your mother? Or can you go to an attorney to handle this legal situation? This is something that's expected. But here in Dominica, we have several attorneys that are not up to the bar.
Let's take a phone call. Hello, yes. Are you there, caller?
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. George. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, yes.
Yes, I had that similar problem what Mr. George is talking about. I suffered for 8 long years. When I couldn't take it again, Matt, a friend of mine said to me, go to the Caribbean Court of Justice, and I got my $8,000 back, and I was okay. Now, I have a second problem where I did a contract with my bitter half, and then she's supposed to give me $183,000 one way and another $183,000 another way. Now she said to me, go to her lawyer. When I want a copy of the contract, I go to the lawyer, and Mark, all those lawyers in Dominican, 90% of them, they connected like the volcano. They cover in for each other. Mark, 3 years I walking up and down like a stray dog for my rights. That's why this day when I sing in my song, I come out like the volcano, because I want what is mine. And Dominicans, there come Dominicans.
So you're saying you're going to all lawyers and they're rejecting your case? That's what you're saying?
No. I said I had gone to a first one. I had a problem for purchasing a house. That person had took my money, but at the last end I got my money back, and I paid for the house. Now I gave another lawyer to register the house. And he said to me, if it's you register the house, you build the house, you refurbish the house before you register it, you'll pay too much money. So I gave him the money, and it took me 8 years before I get my money back. Through the Caribbean Court of Justice, I go to praise court. Now I have another problem. I did a contract with my...
Guys, this is another man speaking about his problem right there. 8 years you have to take. That's crazy, man.
Peter half, my ex-girlfriend, and then I supposed to get $183,000 from Erica to now, and then her people and them. You see, I don't know because I'm black. When you're black, people don't even respect you or regard you. Because she's white, everybody's supporting her.
So you're saying it's a racism thing that's something else, we?
But they don't know. I am going to go back to the Caribbean Court of Justice to get justice because too much matter is suffered. And the last time I ended up in hospital was because of that, They keep lying about me and they have her. Look, because she white and I black. They're making her look like a sin, but they're not speaking the truth. Anyways, I can't talk too much. I have to calm down.
All right, thank you very much. Don't get sick again. Okay,
that's crazy.
Voice note there. Are you there? Yes? Uh-huh.
Good afternoon, Matt. Matt, this is so true. Mr. Jolly is speaking truth, Matt. Matt, up to this day, my daughter is 20 years. And her father has been fighting a lawyer in Dominica for a property for more than 17 years, more than 18 years.
What? Guys, boy, hey, that is crazy right there, bro.
Because the lawyer represented him, he paid all his transfer fees and everything for the property. And the lawyer went and represented another family member, and he himself put a caveat on that land. And so the person in question doesn't have the property, doesn't have the land, doesn't have the money. He has lost quite a significant amount of money. When he went on the land, the family member who placed the caveat on the land took a gun to him and he had to run out of that property. Matt, the lawyer who did that has been in the spotlight for many, many years.
I wonder who that is.
Nothing is being done about that lawyer. Gone Emmanuel Drive. He has since perished, and this lawyer is still at large, taking people money and not doing the work and having people lost money, property, and everything else, Matt.
Why? Is your mother that give you property? Huh? Is your father that give you property? You taking the people's rightful owner of the properties. You taking it for what reason? 17 years. Guys, I don't know what 17 years is, man. That person probably hoping for the person to die. I've indicated that sentiment before. That's kind of crazy right there. My goodness gracious.
Matt, the lawyers in Dominica need to stop it. If it was a political issue, we would bring it to light. You see so much blows Earl Williams get, and have lawyers that do 10 times worse than Earl Williams ever did. I'm not saying what he did was right. I'm just saying that there are lawyers, because of their political affiliation, Matt, they're getting away with murder in Dominica on poor people. Especially if you are a foreigner, Matt, your money is gone.
That's, boy.
Good afternoon.
Guys, the reason why I speak about a land situation is because I know one of the situations in the Collier region. I know a particular situation in the Collier region, and that person lives overseas as well as the families live overseas. And that situation, from my understanding from the last time we spoke about it, was not rectified as yet. And some of these people, like this scholar is saying right there, these people are in public's eye. There's a group of, let me leave that right there. Because sometimes people tell me stuff in confidence and I don't want to give any inclination as to exactly who that is. Guys, there's 39 of you guys in the building right now. 40 of you guys are in the building right now. Don't forget to click the thumbs up button. I would appreciate you guys definitely doing so right there. We're talking about the situation involving the judicial system, especially when it comes on to the Lawyers Club. Why are lawyers doing this to clients who pay them their money? It's one thing when you don't pay a lawyer their money, brothers and sisters. But it's another thing when you pay lawyers their money for them to do something for you. And instead of doing it for you, they're helping themselves out with your property, with your money. Why is this happening in the nation of the Caribbean, brothers and sisters? What do you think about that? Let me know your thoughts in the live chat right there, guys. Let me know your thoughts and comments right there. I see somebody make a comment. Yushi, big up yourself one time. Yushi is saying the corruption begins with the PM. I think the corruption starts at the head. Because and you are right there. Because if you're saying that, corruption is happening at a lower level, so to speak. It's happening amongst lawyers and this kind of things. It should be up to the Prime Minister to decide, hey, this thing has been going on for too long. This situation has been going on for too long, and it is not fair to the people that we are governing. And as a result of it not being fair, then what should be done? laws and policies should be put in place. This is why there is a bill that should have been passed 15 years ago that would hold the lawyers accountable. And from my understanding, it seems like they're making sure that that bill never sees the light of day. They're making sure that bill never sees the light of day, because that bill, once it's passed, will then hold the lawyers accountable to the people that they have wronged. And if that be the case, then a lot of these lawyers will either have to pay a healthy sum of money or they'll have to take jail time. And I think that is necessary to stop corruption. It is necessary to stop corruption, guys. Hendrix, pick up yourself one time for being part of this here live interaction reaction. Of course, guys, I see you guys clicking the thumbs up button, including a number of you guys right there. So click the thumbs up button, man. I appreciate you guys for definitely doing so. Hendrix is saying, after independence, we did not learn about ethics. And I think that is vital. But apparently, when you go into law school, they teach you about ethics. So if the citizens don't know ethics, I mean, we all know right from wrong. But if the citizens do not know ethics, my goodness, when it comes down to law and handling the justice system, at least the lawyer should know it. But instead, they're doing the complete opposite of what needs to be done. Yushi, big up yourself again. As I said, Prime Minister, police, lawyers, all of them are corrupt. The question here is, how do we solve these corrupt, dirty ways? That, I think, is what needs to be done right there. How do we solve it so that the people are not being constantly taken advantage of? And the funny thing is, sometimes people will see me saying these kind of things, or you saying these kind of things there, and they'll say, oh, you're against this person, or you're against that person. I'm not against anybody, no, brothers and sisters. Especially sometimes people want to say me, oh, Mr. Lex, you hate the Prime Minister. I don't hate the Prime Minister. I don't hate nobody. What I hate people for? If we give you a job to do and you are not doing that job, if a lawyer is given a job to do and they're not doing that job, you are saying that we should stay quiet. If you give the government a job to do and they're not doing that job, or they're making empty promises and pie in the sky promises, they're not doing it, you're saying that we should stay quiet and just wait. And every time we wait, in more promises coming, and man, I tell you, man, something is wrong, man. Something is dangerously wrong in this circumstance right there. Let's continue.
It's a lawyer talking to me. They are all feeding from the same trough. I told you that a couple of years ago. These lawyers, corrupt lawyers.
No, not all lawyers are corrupted, by the way, guys. Not all lawyers. Although, there's one particular person that I'm thinking that is not necessarily, I don't think that person is involved in that. But there was something that was done that made me wonder. I'm not gonna lie. There was something that was done that made me wonder. That person is probably watching this live interaction reaction right now. And there was something that was done that made me wonder. And I just say, you know what, let me just give the benefit of the doubt, because I don't have the full story, so let me just leave it right there. Hendrix is back in the building saying, we have to check all government lawyers working against the Dominican people. I agree. So it's not just about lawyers. We have to check everybody working against people who have been given positions by the public, should be held to account to the people. And I think the only set of people that can do so is the public. But I don't think that the public knows their rights. This is why sometimes when certain things are happening, the opposition reach out to the public, and the public then has to demand certain things. But apparently, the public doesn't seem to know their own rights. Let's continue.
But I don't know if it's fair, Andy, to paint a broad brush though, over all these lawyers in Dominica. What you say? Yeah.
Well,
Well, he says 80%.
It's probably not fair, but the problem is, Matt, how do you scrutinize and tell the good ones from the bad ones? How do you do that? I mean, the only way you can do that is by experience.
True.
But Matt, since there is no policing of the lawyers, you believe that everyone that you walk into is a good lawyer until such time that you have.
Until they bubble you. Yes. You go, they come. Sometimes these lawyers, guys, I've experienced this myself with other people. They come nice and say, oh, you're going to win this amount of monies and you're going to win that and we'll be there for you. Don't worry about it, and so forth and so forth. And then when the tire hits the road, and I went to ask certain people, so what has happened as a result of what these lawyers were telling you? These people don't say from since that time they've never seen the lawyers. They've never seen the lawyers. The lawyers come and make them all sorts of promises. Hey, we're going to have you and don't worry, we're going to get you and so forth and so forth. We have your back, and sometimes they may even come and bring you food. They might come and bring you food and all sorts of things. And then when you ask what has happened as a result of that, nothing. This is why you have to take, even me, because I have to put myself under the microscope too as well, guys. Because if the lawyers can do this, I think I can do it too. So you have to put me under the microscope as well. For the things that I'm saying, hold me to account. Because it's vital that we hold people to account, especially people in the media or people who are supposed to represent the interests of the public. We're supposed to hold them to account. I think Tupac was one of the individuals that made that statement right there. He said, hold the people, our leaders, we need to hold our leaders accountable to the things that they say. And apparently that doesn't seem to be the case at all when it comes down to the nature island, not just Dominica, but other places as well. And that is not good, especially for the interests of the people. My God, how much time do I have to say these kind of things, man?
And over
So Peter paying for Paul.
For Peter is paying for Paul. So I'm not saying that all the lawyers are bad. And like you said, about 80% of them are not above bar. And I'm going to tell you, are you right? Maybe. I'm going to tell you. By far, we have about what? How many lawyers in Dominica? 25, 30 lawyers in Dominica?
Oh, well, there's more than that.
A little more probably. I probably know 2 good lawyers. So
I personally, I know about, from dealing with them, from understanding their character, I still would have them, like I indicated before, still have them with a magnifying glass, so to speak. But so far from what I've seen, the mannerisms, I can say about 3 or 4 lawyers that I have dealt with, see how they work in, other people have told me about them. Sometimes it's also interesting that somebody brought up this understanding to me, indicating that although sometimes you might see certain lawyers, they are not involved in corruption or they are not involved in certain things, but the question here is, sometimes they might be on the other end of the spectrum, although they might not be in the corruption, but they're doing some sort of thing on the other side somewhere. So although you are focused on the corruption and say, okay, these lawyers are good, they might be involved in certain things on the other side of the scope. And I never thought of that when that person told me this. I never thought of that. That individual told me, you'll be surprised. Because that individual is very much, that individual is very much, what is the word I'm looking for? They are very much educated or involved. I don't want to say much on that. But they know what they know, brothers and sisters.
Numbers and my estimates are probably, not on par, but I do a lot of legal work. And I can tell you, I've run into 2 or 3 good lawyers in Dominica. The rest of them, there's a lot of self-interest. There's a lot of uncouth, unethical behavior that's going on. And that needs to be looked into.
And Andy, sometimes you might be talking to lawyers who also have that self-interest in their thing and pretending to be people who have the best interests of the people in mind. Sometimes we don't want to say certain things because we check in that person is looked at a certain way in society. We don't want to say much, but we just want people to figure out based on the dealings with them, so you won't have to worry about what I say, but you will pretty much find out. There are certain lawyers that I've dealt with in the past, and then people have told me about these things, and I gave these lawyers the benefit of the doubt. I gave them the benefit of the doubt, despite what other people have told me. This is why I always tell people, even if somebody come and say bad things about somebody to you, do not trust what the person says. Take it with a grain of salt, but look out for yourself. Protect yourself too, but look out for yourself. If that person is giving you signs based on what other people have told you, then you know that that is correct on that person. Sometimes people say bad things about certain people just so that, hey, they maybe don't like that person, so they don't want you to deal with that person, so they're telling you bad things that are not necessarily accurate. So you have to find out for yourself. But be mindful, brothers and sisters, of what people are saying right there.
And the question is, who is in charge of these attorneys. Nobody in Dominica can tell me who's in charge of attorney. In fact, you could come to Dominica as an attorney, do whatever you want, get away with it. And you know what I found out, Matt? Even the police are afraid to prosecute.
Yep.
You know why? Because the attorneys are representing themselves and they can work for free.
Yes. Yep.
Attorneys can work for free. That's
Yep.
their profession. So if the police came up against you, you know all the tricks to get in and out of the system.
What's going on here? Let's continue.
Matt, how do you scrutinize
You can't stop. You can't stop reggae.
and tell the good ones from the bad ones? How do you do that? I mean, the only way you can do that is by experience. But Matt, since there is no policing of the lawyers, you believe that everyone that you walk into is a good lawyer until such time that you hand over
So Peter paying for Paul.
For Peter is paying for Paul. So I'm not saying that all the lawyers are bad. And like you said, about 80% of them are not above bar. And I'm going to tell you, are you right? Maybe. I'm going to tell you, by far.
Guys, sorry about that. I have no idea what on earth just happened. So let me just tell you guys exactly what seemed to have happened. I don't know. I'm running on a different browser. And then for some reason or the other, the browser just stopped working. And then when it stopped working, when I decided to change the IP, then it came back. So I don't know if there was an IP conflict or something of that sort. But hey, we're back. Let's continue.
We have about what? How many lawyers in Dominica? 25, 30 lawyers in Dominica?
A little more.
A little more probably. I probably know 2 good lawyers. So my numbers and my estimates are probably, not on par, but I do a lot of legal work. And I can tell you, I've run into 2 or 3 good lawyers in Dominica. The rest of them, there's a lot of self-interest. There's a lot of uncouth, unethical behavior that's going on. And that needs to be looked into.
I agree.
And the question is, who is in charge of these attorneys? Nobody in Dominica can tell me who's in charge of attorney. In fact, you could come to Dominica as an attorney, do whatever you want,
The
get
corruption.
away with it. And you know what I found out, Matt? Even the police are afraid to prosecute. You know why? Because the attorneys are representing themselves and they can work for free.
For free. Guys, that's very true right there. I have a number of comments. So let me just go into these comments right there. So Hendrik was the last one I've read. Yushi is back in the building. I see you sent a gift, a sticker. Appreciated that right there. What are you calling this thing again? A super chat. Yes, super chat. I appreciate the super chat for this right there. But of course, Yushi also stated change of the government because he's working with them. Yeah, the government seems to be working with these lawyers. Apparently, this is why there's a level of corruption that just somehow doesn't seem to be rectified. It could be that is the case. The government is working with the justice system, and the government is corrupt, and as a result of the corruption, they are corrupting the justice system. Hey, we can make a lot of money. What are you talking about? We can make millions of dollars. We just have to stick together. It seems like that is the case right there. So, the media house, pick up yourself one time. Boss, tell your story and the first lawyer that represented you. Well, those who know. Those who don't know. But it's very interesting of that particular story right there, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. That's why sometimes when individuals come and say that when you see people in the media, doesn't mean that they might have an interesting story right there. This is why sometimes, brothers and sisters, you just have to wait. You just have to wait, let things settle. As things happening, then I'm the first lawyer that represented me, guys. I am telling you guys, be very, very, very careful right there. There's a story I can tell on this, no doubt about it. So, hey, but big up yourself, the media house. Right, the Hendricks is saying the lawyers representing MMC without the people's consent should be investigated. I think so. I think when it comes on to certain circumstance of people, businesses overseas that representing people and then want to tell the people about what land they can give them and so forth, but completely bypassing the right set of people, I think that there is a problem right there. That's why a number of persons believe that somehow Chinese are in charge of Dominica. I refuse to believe that. I refuse. Nobody, no Chinese, nowhere going to come to Dominica and have me feeling like a second citizen. That will never happen, brothers and sisters. You might allow it. I will not allow it. Sometimes I see the Chinese people dressed in their jackets and moving around, and then the Dominican people moving aside. You have to tell me, excuse me, sir, for me to move. I'm not moving. You, what? You have to get manners under me first, brothers and sisters. Good lawyers stay quiet while bad lawyers destroy the entire society. I agree with that. They're just there to make their money, hey. But then again, sometimes you need the people to stand up with the lawyers as well. But I think the first line of defense should come from the very lawyers. The lawyers are quiet, hoping for change, and they themselves want change, and they're not seeing change and do absolutely nothing at all. It's one of the reasons why I asked a particular lawyer, why doesn't the lawyers in Dominica come together and see that you know, if they believe that, and they believe that the government is doing wrong by the people, why don't they do like the folks in the United States and take the government to task? Why don't they do it? When last you ever hear in Dominica that lawyers taking the government to task? The only person I've heard doing something was Cara Shillingford. When the government brought in a vehicle that was apparently, quote unquote, he made the claim that the vehicle was given to him as a gift from his friends from overseas. Brought it to Dominica, driving up and down the place as if, how on earth you as a prime minister of a country deciding to take gifts from foreign entities? And you ask yourself, so the person just give you gift just like that? Really? They just give you a gift? No, they don't need anything from you. They just give you a gift. And you know about the government that was talking about transparency? Talking about transparency, and we're not seeing the transparency. Boy, that stuff is it's a whole, brothers and sisters, it's the whole system. It's not just a piece, it's the whole system. Hendricks is also saying when the mindset of a society is fixed. I was actually talking to an individual from Vegas, and he was making that same sentiment. I tell him, bro, I agree with you 100%. Hopefully you come on the podcast sometime. I keep inviting people to come to the podcast. Some people want to come to the podcast to just, you know, but other people, I want them to come to talk. Let's have a rapport, you know. But of course, the mindset of the society needs to be fixed. No one will accept unethical behaviors from anyone as normal, as in Dominica. Yushi, I appreciate the super sticker you just gave right there. Much love for that. Thanks so much for that. Like, guys, you can definitely leave a little contribution here and there, no doubt about it, if you feel like you want to do so. Anything is fine. Hey, I accept it. Thank God for that. Hendricks again is saying there is a breakdown of society where anything goes. I agree. When we start respecting our neighbors, I think we first must need to start respecting ourselves. And then we start respecting ourselves, we'll demand respect from others. Just like when you've seen people doing certain things in society, they have themselves just loose in society and they expect people to respect them. Not so it works, brothers and sisters. Respect is earned. So until we start respecting ourselves and have our values and our responsibilities and we are accountable for the things that we say, the great book says, judge yourself lest you be judged. Number of persons want to say, the Bible says judge not. The Bible never say that. The great book says judge yourself lest you be judged. So it's important for us to judge ourselves in accordance to certain things that is written. And then in turn, we be able to do what needs to be done rightfully. I think the lawyers don't judge themselves at all. They just go by whatever means that they feel necessary. Anyways, guys, let's continue right here.
Really? Attorneys can work for free. That's their profession. So if the police came up against you, you know all the tricks to get in and out of the system, or you know everything that can get you off. So the police don't want to come up against you because guess what? I mean, who wants to go up against somebody and spend years and months going? So the police themselves put themselves in a receded position. And here you have, Matt, that law and order, which is the police, are afraid of the legal profession in Dominica. I have never seen this happen before. Usually, lawyers are afraid of the police. In Dominica, the police are
afraid of the lawyers,
afraid of the attorneys.
That's crazy.
Somebody saying, man, can you ask the callers to call their names of the corrupt lawyers so people can start?
So we can start a list. It would not be funny if we started a list. We can put Contuani Williams on the top. Keep going down.
We have to be very careful. If you don't have the facts, you can be You can be brought to.
Oh yeah,
Prosecuted,
I think you can be brought
facts,
to
yeah.
justice, Matt, but it's
Yes.
really hard to be brought to justice by some of what these people have done.
At least,
A lot
at
of-
least Andy can provide the facts.
Oh yes, and not only that, I have personal experience. I can tell you, this is a lot of the people that are calling. Though I think they are right on. They're not just calling a name that they heard before or something that their friend told them. I mean, these are people calling with personal first-hand experience. And I'm going to tell you, Matt, after you've been taken advantage of by an attorney, it's like being raped.
Yeah, it's like what is the point of continuing? Who else can I trust? The very people who are supposed to be part of the justice system, who are supposed to be doing right, who are supposed to uphold, ensuring that the people get what they need to get as a result of proper justice. They are then those who are involved in corrupt practices. They are doing strange things that make you wonder, well, aren't you a lawyer? Aren't you supposed to be having my interests at heart? Aren't you supposed to at least be wanting to see justice being done? And then when these people do you wrong, you then ask yourself, who can you go to? The next question, I heard Joshua talking about the situation involving other lawyers, indicating, based off the reaction I actually did, indicating that if a lawyer does you wrong, you have to go for another lawyer to go after that lawyer. Or go after the police, and the police self is a big joke.
You remember every second of it because these people are lying to you. They get caught in the lies. They're taking money from you. It's like people don't understand. You were literally raped. So you're thinking of it step by step. Your money was taken out of you. So we have to understand that people need a way to find justice in the system. Attorneys have taken advantage of people for so long.
Facts.
There's no way that we as a population can allow this to continue. Because guess what? It will kill our society. The legal profession is a fundamental part of our society. If I have to sell a house today, man, I cannot sell a house without using an attorney. If I have to buy a house, I cannot buy a house without using an attorney. If I have to do a transaction with the bank, I cannot do the transaction without an attorney. If I have to write a will, I have to do that with an attorney. So here it is that the attorney is a fundamental.
Well, that's as he's saying, all these guys, one of the things I think the schooling system has failed. You don't necessarily need a lawyer, so to speak, because the lawyer, the reason why you need a lawyer is because a lawyer has gone through certain training where they are able to know, okay, this is what I need to put together and so forth and so forth. But the same thing that the lawyer knows how to do, the people can learn how to do it for themselves. And you avoid having to pay lawyer fees and all those kind of things. You can literally do this for yourself. I heard Skerrit say the same sentiment when he's talking about to doing the land business. He's saying to transfer titles and this kind of things that you don't need lawyers for you don't need lawyers for these things. You can literally do it for yourself, but the lawyers know the process. If you don't know the process, you go to a lawyer. That's how it works. But you can literally do these things for yourself, guys.
Backbone. If I get convicted of a crime, I'm going to need an attorney. Are you telling me that there are attorneys in Dominica I cannot trust? So if I'm innocent, who do I trust?
That's the question.
Who comes to my aid first? Not only that, Matt, here's the bad thing about the legal profession in Dominica that a lot of people don't understand. Most of the lawyers in Dominica don't specialize. And why do I see this as a problem? Matt, the same lawyer that will take you out in court if you kill a man is the same lawyer that wants to transfer the title of your property for you, for your house. How is that possible? No, if you're a criminal attorney, you should be a criminal attorney.
Yeah.
If you're a land attorney or if you're a public defense attorney, you should be that. If
I think
you're an attorney who takes care of minors, you should. But it's all jumbled up.
I think the defense to that is, they don't get work all the time.
that's exactly what I was going to say. So they don't always get work, so to speak, on that particular area of expertise all the time. So what the lawyers tend to do, I'm telling you guys what they do. So what the lawyers tend to do, like let's say you have $5,000 to pay that lawyer for whatever thing you want to do, and that lawyer is not specializing in this. So what the lawyer does, they then ask another lawyer who is more familiar with that. And then what they do, because you came to them, they then share or split that money with that other lawyer. That's what happens. They might not be experts in it, but then they solicitate the help of other lawyers. This is why lawyers are like their friends upon friends. When I was doing the reaction on Thursday on Mr. Leaks Reacts, they're talking about, oh, my buddy. Oh, that's my friend, so I wouldn't go against my friend. This is what I'm talking about right there. So the lawyers solicited the help of other lawyers. The lawyers solicited the help of lawyers who have the expertise, and then they split that monies. That's what they do. The lawyer might end up having to do all the information, whatnot, but then he passes on to the lawyer that you went, thinking that that lawyer is the one that's handling it. One of the things when I go to different people, brothers and sisters, one of the things that I tend to do, I tend to listen. I think listening is my strong point right there. I try to study, I try to listen exactly to the things that people are saying, the things that they are doing. Sometimes they might have a little guard up. I mean, it's very easy to tell when people have guard up and this kind of things there, but you know, you listen to that lawyer. Sometimes right in front of you, they calling the person on the phone and they talking to the person and hey, you know, so forth and so forth. You know, sometimes even when dealing with certain lawyers, I realize that that lawyer doesn't know what on earth they're doing. Because before I go to the lawyer, I spoke to another lawyer to find out what exactly is going on, what is the procedure, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then thing. Because there's a particular lawyer that I actually went to, and that lawyer was saying leave out certain information. Leave out certain information. Then I went to another lawyer, and that lawyer put in the very same information that lawyer said to leave out, saying that that is vital information. So you have to be careful which lawyer you go to in Dominica, because that can either be a good thing or a bad thing. It might end up being that person losing your case. If you go to the wrong lawyer, that person might end up losing your case for you, because that is not the proficiency. That is not the area of expertise. You see? So what Matt is saying is 100% accurate.
But they don't specialize in it. They don't read up on it. The guy who's transferring the land and who wants to take you out of jail is just doing like a side job. It's not like he knows what he's doing.
Yep.
He's just doing his very best. So therefore, you don't get the best attorney. I cannot tell you one attorney in Dominica that has a specialty under their belt. And if somebody knows one, feel free to call in the show. I'm going to tell you. This is at the disadvantage.
Yep.
So Matt says,
That's
hey,
true.
Andy, here's the thing. My mother wants to leave me a piece of land. And you say, oh, yeah, go and check my attorney. Well, you can't walk in and say, sir, well, what are your qualifications? What makes you
Qualified.
a good attorney to be able to read Matt's mother's will? What makes you a good attorney to be able to trust to transfer Matt's title from his mother to Matt seamlessly?
But I think, Andy, I definitely think that people need to ask these questions. Because it seems like Dominica, we feel like, okay, whatever attorney is, hey, that person is a lawyer, so that person should represent me on whatever field or capacity that I'm actually requesting, even if that lawyer is not an expert or qualified for that particular area that is needed. Yo, it's interesting, guys. Revelation have to unfold, you know.
There's no book that says this is the best attorney for that. I can tell you, Matt, this is a problem. And this is why so many people are being taken
Bamboozled.
advantage of. And Matt, you know what? The next thing is every attorney wants to be involved in CBI. Why is that?
And that self is a trap too. Because when you're involved in CBI, then you have to, okay, well, if that person was doing, if that government was doing that person wrong, and then that lawyer wants to be part of selling passports, then that lawyer might end up destroying your case because they want to be where the real money is. Guys, that is very interesting stuff, you know, in Dominica.
Why does every attorney want to be involved in money coming into the country from foreign banks?
They're looking for favors. They're looking for favors. Most lawyers won't.
They're looking for favors and money.
Of a case against government because They're looking for a case from the government. That's basically what
exactly.
They're looking for something.
They want the big money. And don't get me wrong, nothing wrong with wanting the big money, guys. But when it's at the expense of the people, I think something needs to be done. Hendrix is in the building. When society accepts, anything goes. There is a breakdown of society as indicated right there. You must have a situation like Venezuela. People do nothing, say nothing, because they are afraid of their own government. Yushi is saying, well said, Mr. X. Hey, I speak it like I see it. No doubt about it. Hendrix is saying the Caribbean remains a weak region where people are just waiting for someone to save them. Hendrix, you hit that on the head. I have said that a number of times. People are looking for other people to save them. So what do? They stay quiet. When they're asking for protests, for people to come out and protest, the whole of Dominica should come out and protest because it's for their benefit. They're not showing up. They're waiting for other people to come. Or sometimes they hide in. There's particular times that I went out and people tell me, Mr. Alex, don't film me. You're out in the public, tell me don't film you because you're afraid of who sees you. Remember when the government was going out there and they had a specific cameraman to take pictures of who in meetings in Roseau? You remember? I remember him, because I film him, and when he meet me, he tell me you don't like what I doing. So you don't like what I'm doing, but you getting paid to make people feel like you going to bring their picture for the government so that they do not get benefits. And as a result of doing this, then what happens? Then people do not show up for the protest because they don't want to feel victimized. But it's to your benefit. People don't understand these things. It is for your benefit, for your betterment and for your children's betterment. But nobody's saying these things. They want somebody else to foot the bill. Just like when certain people, guys, I'm not going to lie for you, certain people have sent me information and want me to put their information out there. And I tell them I am not putting the information out there. Come on the podcast. Let's talk about it. Come. And they're afraid to come. So they want me to put their information out there for them to get help. There's a particular person that also received help as a result of coming on the podcast and so forth and so forth. And that person told me other people reaching out to them so that they can put their story out there so that they can get help. I tell them, not so it happening. You have to come yourself. Don't go and take nobody responsibility and put it on yourself because they are afraid of being victimized. And they suffering in silence. They're suffering, they're hurting in silence, staying quite hoping for somebody to come and rescue them. Who else to rescue you but yourself? Who else? Brothers and sisters, if the people were unified, they would understand exactly what on earth I am saying right there. We're waiting for other people to rescue us when it's we that's supposed to rescue ourselves. That is truly something else. Hendrix Ismail is a public housing. The government also hires lawyers. What about other lawyers? They also selling Dominica down the drain. It's a whole thing. It's a whole system. Can anyone tell me what is working in Dominica the way it should? That's a good question. What exactly is working in Dominica the way it should? Well, corruption is working the way it should in Dominica, for sure. I don't think we want corruption, but corruption seems to be working perfectly in Dominica. It's unfortunate that I have to say this, but can anybody deny what I'm saying? Brothers and sisters, can we deny it? When you're seeing bribery and cheating going on in broad daylight, can we deny that there's no corruption in Dominica? But the funny thing is, people would then say, but Mr. Lee, corruption happening in other places. So because corruption happening in other places, that means it's supposed to happen in your country too. I never understood or fathomed that thought process. I never understood that. The media house, your first lawyer got his CBI approval. Okay, thanks for that information. I know. Yushi is saying, I would like to stay to listen, but it's 2 a.m. and I'm sleepy. I'm sorry about that. Yushi, where are you? Are you in the UK? I'm guessing you're in the UK somewhere. But yes, I saw you send the stuff. So appreciate the super sticker, no doubt about it. Yes, guys, I think we definitely need to do something to elevate. But I appreciate you for definitely being a part of this. You can definitely catch the video afterwards. If you want to know where you left off, then you can definitely just catch the video. It'll be up on the live segment of Brbptv. Hendricks also is saying, are there any good lawyers to educate people about the way government deliver public housing and in Switzerland and Singapore? You see, I think the lawyers are lapsing a lot. I think there was a time where the lawyers said that they're going to be educating the public, especially about the electoral system, the right of the people to vote. There was always that push so that the lawyers said that they were going to educate the masses, and apparently that didn't materialize. There's a video, like I indicated before, I'm going to be doing that video, I think, Godspeed, next Sunday. And that video, I think the lawyers are talking about how they are giving people competitions, and that have nothing to do with the elevation of the people understanding the laws in Dominica. Nothing at all. But they putting it out there, some sort of community involvement. Or they make this school had some competition, reading competition or something. Yo, it's amazing, man. It's truly amazing, no doubt about it. You continue in Singapore and Switzerland, they have full employment and people buy their own homes because they have jobs. I agree. Let the people know how he handled your matter. The media house, this is not time for that. but if you know, you should tell the people.
From the government.
From the government.
Well, why?
So they won't take on the government.
So, Matt, is that a fair system?
No, it's not fair.
It can't be a fair system. So therefore, if you want to be a successful lawyer in Dominica, you must work with the government. Is that what we're saying here?
Yeah, because keep in mind, the government has stopped the people's ability for them to be freely involved in their own independence to be able to acquire wealth and create generational wealth. So the lawyers probably thinking, hey, I want to be on the government's good books, so I won't go against the government. I will go with the government so I can get or be be put in positions where I'm able to get a lot of the big monies. So the government handles the big contracts and those kind of things there where the big money is, and the lawyers get to be put on it. In this particular situation of what Andy is talking about right there, I'm wondering, doesn't this government have affiliation? Doesn't this lawyer have affiliation to the government? Why then is Andy then having to bring up that this particular lawyer is involved in taking his money and doing things and those kind of things? Why? Aren't you able to get the big contracts from the government? I mean, that's a good question to ask, But yeah, you should bless up yourself with France. Big up the France massive right there. I need to head back to France. I was in France about, a year and a half, 2 years ago. Yeah, I was there, man. France is a nice place, although it's a little bit free. And then there's also always that scare of terrorist attacks in that place. So, I mean, when I was there, the police was all over the place, man. It's crazy. But yeah, France is a really nice place. No doubt about it. Yeah. Anyways, guys, let's continue for let me see how long I have remaining. I can continue for 20, 25 minutes, man. Let's continue.
If you want, not only that, when you get in trouble as an attorney, the first person that you're running to is the government. Because guess what? The government can call the police and have the police stand down. The government can call so and say, hey, can you help out this one?
And the police should not be guided by the government. The police should be guided by law. This is why the situation that happened with the protest somewhere in March, it's February or March, I think it's in March, when the people went out to say, hey, we do not want this electoral reform that you're giving us. When the people went out there, if the police was guided by law, the police would not be putting up any barriers there. Because the Constitution, as rightly stated by the Prime Minister, is the supreme law of the land. We keep talking about some riot act. If the riot act violates the Constitution, it is wrong. The Constitution is the supreme law of the land that gives remember, the Constitution doesn't give people his rights, The Constitution reminds the government of the people's rights. And the people's right to freely protest and assemble. There's the caveat, however, on the basis that you are preventing people from continuing their daily activities. This is why if you have to block the road, I don't understand how on earth police blocking road. But if you have to block the road on the basis of having a meeting, then that is and has been allowed, has to be allowed. So the police themselves, they are not guided by law. They are guided by certain individuals who own power in society. To the point where even MMC, let me leave that one.
Is this what we're doing? We're doing pyramid and Ponzi schemes in Dominica, man. Is this what we want our children to inherit? I mean,
oh my God.
What are we doing here? Should we look at this and make good decisions going forward?
Hello, talk to me on the telephone. Oh, sorry about that. We missed that call. Are you there, caller? Yes? Caller.
Good afternoon to you, man. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
Are you hearing me?
Are you hearing you loud and clear? Go ahead.
Let me ask you a question. You remember in the early 70s, that Israel was a child at that time, on the north of the island, there was a certain lawyer whom I understood who killed a certain man who killed a lawyer on his estate for trying to reveal his estate. Are you aware of that, Jolly? You and Matt?
I heard that story, but I can't say I know that person personally. I heard of that story. There's one person actually something about the person gave a coconut to that lawyer and he took off his neck. That was a real story there. Yes, I heard about that many years ago. Well, we got to that stage just yet. Hello, yes,
Mr. Pelton, blessings to you, sir.
Blessings to you,
wait. As he's saying that, dear brothers and sisters, I'm not an advocate for violence, but just like I mentioned the story with the girl's mother went to the police to report bullying, the particular girl bullying her daughter, and nothing was done, to the point where the girl then had to retaliate and throw liquid in the girl's eyes or in her face. I'm not sure if it entered into her eyes, but she was holding her face and stuff. I saw the video. When we reach to that certain circumstance, brothers and sisters, who do you wrong for that? Just like the lawyer, I think that's what the individual was stating right there. Somebody was trying to mess with him on his land or whatever, and he ended up taking that lawyer's life. Who do you wrong for that situation? Who do you wrong when the government or the police or lawyers have done citizens wrong? And in certain places across the world, they do not just escape with these things, like they escape in Dominica. But that's why I always tell people, make sure you are always in the right. Because if you're in the wrong and you do somebody wrong, you're wrong. But if the person is in the right and you do the person wrong and something happens to you, the person that was wrong, you're not wrong. This is why when it comes down to the situation with the lawyers, you must always maintain a level of making sure that you are right. And not just on the right on the basis of law, there's moral law. So understanding that if you are stealing somebody's thing and you're stealing somebody's property or stealing somebody's money, you are wrong. Just because the law might say certain things or we don't hold these people accountable to certain things. And if you do it, if that person retaliates, you end up losing your life or being in pain or something has happened to you because you have done people wrong. One of the things in life, brothers and sisters, I always try my best to never wrong nobody. I try my best. Anytime I say certain things, brothers and sisters, I ask questions on it. I try my best not to wrong anybody. That's probably why the government don't come here yet. But because I ask questions and I put it out there and say, hey, if this is wrong, it's wrong. It's very clear that it is wrong. Why do we have to wait for certain bills to come in before the lawyers decide I need to act right? This is one of the reasons why they're not trying to pass the bill. The bill that has been waiting for 15 years to be passed. And the lawyers themselves probably colluded with each other saying we're not going to pass this bill at all. Because that means it's going to hold us to account. I've also heard that they're trying to make certain amendments to that bill so that consequences do not follow. It's interesting. So instead you're saying you make amendments to your dirty ways for wronging the people. You say, no, let's try to make amendments to the bill so that the bill doesn't have consequences for us and our actions that we have done to the people. Interesting.
Is that the same Andy Jolly, Matt, or another one?
That's the same Andy Jolly. Blessings. How are you doing?
Blessings to you, sir. And I want to emphasize with you. You there with me, Mr. Pelton?
Yeah, I'm right there.
All right. You had a caller who engaged you this morning pertaining to do with all the madness that is happening in Dominica about a particular judge and lawyers and all of that. So you see, you have Doc right on the ball, and I want to give Doc thanks for his courage. Because, Matt, no wonder man say no law, no constitution, because they understand how corrupt the whole thing is. It's a cesspool.
Mm-hmm.
It's a whole You know that in Greece, I think the word system means a sewage, a cesspool.
Blessing going into details. But it's right. The whole system is corrupt. So how can you decide? Like I tell people, it's not just, some people say we need to remove the government and these kind of things. And I agree with these people, the government needs to go. But the very people that are enabling the government to act like that, they themselves need to be removed. If the police is enabling corruption in the government, they need to go. The lawyers enable corruption in the government, they need to go. The whole system has to go. A complete Clorox washing have to take place there. My God, and throw some holy water there too. Who knows what kind of craziness is going on?
And all of that. So even with the Bar Association in Dominica, could it be just buying everything now? Is there fences built to protect each other, like the boys' club or the mob?
Yep.
And you can fight and talk. But what about you or me, Matt? That will go through a system like that. Matt, are you still there with me?
I'm right here with you, sir. Go ahead.
I'm using another phone, Matt. I hope they don't get that phone and start sabotaging. So, Matt, I am saying Doc can come out and talk. Doc can take the best of lawyer and maybe defend him. But Matt, what about vigilante justice when poor people figure out they were wrong and then they figure out, boss, I don't have money.
That is exactly...
Not realizing they're risking their...
Guys, that is exactly what I just stated right there. That's exactly what I stated right there. There will come a time when the people will be so fed up that they end up going after the people who have done them wrong. This is why it's important. Why we maintain that we have our right, brothers and sisters, instead of we having our wrong. This is one of the reasons why lawyers trying their best to not have that bill passed. Help us, Father.
Lives, Matt. You see the last thing in Silver Lake? Man comes saying police, and what happened to the young man, Matt? So it is so damn sad, Matt. It's a whole corrupt system from
exactly.
Politicians, lawyers,
everybody,
pastors, Matt,
police, priests.
When you're being wronged, everybody's going to seek vigilante justice, and everybody has to live because you have an administration that is Dominican Liberal Party. No matter what amount of crimes and corruption, nobody's talking, and they want blessings and blue, and want two people to call and think we can solve the country problems. That is just a matter of time. Thank you, sir.
But how long is that matter of time, though? How long? Because 25 years, let's not say 25 years. Let's say 15 years, brothers and sisters. You give somebody a chance, they shoot themselves, you put them there. I'm talking about Skerrit. You come in 2004, you run for a year or a few months. You come in as the government, this time Prime Minister. You say, okay, give the man a chance. You see the chaos he's doing. And you put him back for 4-5 times again. Really?
Thank you, Blessings. On the telephone. Hello, talk to me. Huh?
Hello?
Hello, I'm here.
Yes, Matt, I just heard Mr. Johnny spoke about lawyers not being qualified in specific fields. May I ask him to find out about Mr. Bernard Packard? He's just only qualified accountant lawyer, and he's one of few from America. In about 2,000, 4,000 of those lawyers, he's one. So sometimes somebody else can know something about something you do not know. Mr. Bernard Packard is one such lawyer, an accountant lawyer.
All right, okay, yes. Go ahead.
So Matt, I there's probably one out there, but here's the thing. I want people to understand sometimes when I talk, it's not that I'm saying there's none available. Mm-hmm. What I'm saying is that, yes, you may, yeah, but how many? This should be standard operating procedure and standard practice, man.
I think what Jolly was pretty much saying is that lawyers are trained in certain fields. There's a plethora of fields as being an attorney, brothers and sisters. There are different fields. You can be a business lawyer. You can be a criminal lawyer. You can work in civil society, brothers and sisters. Set of different fields. However, in Dominica, a business lawyer then is being sought to handle a criminal offense. Because that person is lawyer. You don't know what kind of lawyer that person is. That person is a civil lawyer. They handling criminal cases. That is what he's saying. You're saying the reason why the people are sought out any lawyer, you just go for any lawyer that might not have the proficiency to be able to handle your case, is because that person might just take on. You think a lawyer will say, no, I cannot handle that case, then let me pass you somebody who's better able to. No, the person realize, hey, I need money. Let me see if I can get a little cut and maybe give that lawyer some cut too. Or maybe split it half instead of getting $0. So if you have to spend $5,000 for a criminal case, and you go to a civil lawyer, that lawyer will say, okay, let me solicit the help of a criminal lawyer, and maybe most likely make you get in contact with that lawyer, and then that lawyer pretty much writes you, and then they split the profit 25-25. They split the money 25-25. So everybody gets, or the criminal lawyer gets 3,000, and that lawyer gets 2,000 or 1,500, and they get something, you know?
You have to understand, if you are in the legal system, you should state your claim as to exactly what
kind of lawyer you are,
or what is your profession.
Exactly.
And Matt Blessings talked a little bit earlier, and he talked about the Bar Association, probably collaborating with. I'm going to tell Blessings, I don't want to believe that, because that is probably not true based on what my experience has been. In fact, Matt, I'm going to tell you, the Bar Association has agreed with all the findings that I am bringing to the table here today, because they have seen this over and over again. The problem with the Bar Association in Dominica is that they don't have any...
They wouldn't come out in public and say it. They might say it privately, but they would not come out in public and say it.
Power. And they're powerless to help.
Or they don't have the balls.
No, I don't think it's the balls. They do not have any power. Legally, the Bar Association has zero power in Dominica. And Matt, the next caller said, hey, somebody shot somebody sometime. Listen, Matt, go back for the last 4 years in St. Lucia. People have been shot, killed, buried because of this. This is not a practice that is good for attorneys to take over.
No, it's true. This is why I tell you, if you're in the proficiency and you're a civil lawyer, don't go and handle criminal case, because sometimes when you lose people case, they come for you and say it's your fault. Sometimes, especially what is going on in Dominica, they might say, man, you collude with the government to make me lose the case because the case is against the government. And you want to be on the government side, so you decide you throw in my case. You see how crazy that can happen in places like St. Lucia. Many have died as a result of this.
Dominica does not need this on their record. This is one of the barriers to investors coming in Dominica. The first place an investor will reach is to a lawyer.
As a matter of fact, I was just up in the university. That's why he wants somebody to call somebody's name that's a corrupt lawyer.
Yeah, I would base. You know what? If people want to call in, and I did. I called my corrupt lawyer. I put Kondwani Williams on the list first. So anybody who wants to follow in with their experience, they're welcome to call in. This is a
Joshua. I call one.
No, but you have to be very careful with that, though, because sometimes you Andy have the facts at your fingertips.
Man, I'm pretty sure our callers have the facts too, because here's the thing: these are people, as I said, speaking from person. This is something you remember, Matt. If somebody takes your money away from you legally, you will remember it. When you give an attorney something to do, you form a contract. You have exchanged goods for services. Most attorneys actually want money up front. You expect that person to go ahead and give you the satisfaction that you deserve. And if that is not met, Matt, there should be consequences. If somebody can call us today and tell me what are the consequences for any lawyer, or is there any lawyer in Dominica who has ever faced any consequences for wrongdoing, I would like to know. This is not right. Our people, 50,000 people, should not be subject to these animals.
You call them animals?
But they are animals. In fact, they're blood-sucking creatures. Because guess what?
The vampires. I think the Bob Marley have a song like that.
They are taking your hard-earned money from your pocket legally. Matt, they are in disguise offering to help you do something, but yet taking advantage of you. These are the same people who would take advantage of children. These are the same people who would take advantage of the elderly.
Because they won't stop at one thing. They might go ahead and say, hey, if I escape with this, I can escape with another thing. It's kind of like lying, brothers and sisters. When you constantly lying and have to lie, when they catch you in that first lie, you have to make another lie to cover up that lie for at that particular time. You know, like how politicians just do to people. Lie to them and then say, these are not lies, this is truths, it'll happen, you know?
The same people who would take advantage of anybody in a failed capacity. These are animals. That's what they are.
All right, somebody says, Matt, there are a few trustworthy lawyers in Dominica. One of those lawyers, and he goes on to explain, this Gina Abraham. She's a very honest, fair, and very knowledgeable person. I use her for all my legal work. That's what's that? Hello?
That's going to be one out of how many callers? We're taking names. Look, it's easy.
Hey, if you have good lawyers, name them. Because I think people need to know who the good lawyers are. I think people need to know who the good lawyers are. I have dealt with certain lawyers and I think they are good. However, other people have told me that the lawyers that these same lawyers apparently were not good to them. So I guess it's on a personal basis. Maybe it could be on a personal basis.
Easy to say that this person has done right by you. But the question is, how many other people have they done wrong by?
Exactly. That is my point. That is what I just stated right there.
And I'm not saying Gina is not a good attorney. By all means, here's what I'm saying. I'm saying we need something where we can register complaints against people.
Mm-hmm.
We need somebody who can keep the bar up. No pun intended. The bar needs to be set higher. Right now, Matt, if you have 10 people who call in here that say that they trust lawyers, I would be impressed. Because very few of us
That's true.
have not really had great interactions with attorneys
True.
in Dominica.
And sometimes it's no fault of the individual themselves, I'm talking about the client. They go to a lawyer to represent them, and for some reason or the other, the lawyer has an agenda where they decide, hey, I'm going to see if I can capitalize on this. We're going to win this money if I pay you $10,000 to represent me, $15,000 to represent me. You win $100,000. The lawyer's then saying, I have to get my cut in that. So what was the point I pay you? What was that point? So that you can get more money on your back. When you actually won the $100,000, they are then telling you that you don't win the $100,000. Just like what Matt alluded to earlier on, talking about they won $500,000 and they only got $100,000. That is crazy right there.
The break will come right back.
Food, check. Water, at least one stuff that's of snack.
I think they're on break or something.
To get yourself in trouble there. But please try to call. Yes, boy. Yes. A lot of people are trying to call in with their stories, but please try to call on air. Try not to get yourself in trouble there.
Give out the numbers. We might want to give out the numbers.
4493095.
But you know, Matt,
9697.
Yes, one of the reasons that people don't make complaints is because all these attorneys always threaten to sue everybody.
Mhm.
I don't know, does that ever happen to you? Because I know you are a public figure.
It has happened to a few.
So yeah, there are people where you bring out a story or an accusation and you're not allowed to discuss it freely because they feel that there's some defamation of character going on.
That's always a threat.
More than likely it's because they're guilty anyway,
Mhm.
right?
Well, as I said, if you want to sue, you can sue, but the facts is before.
The facts are before you. The facts are the facts,
Exactly.
And I'll tell anybody who wants to see the facts. You know what I should do, man? I'm actually thinking about opening an online portal and put all the facts on there to scan all the documents.
Like they have anonymous. What is something anonymous? They need to do that. I think they did that for there was some website, I think it's Canada, United States, where they made some website where you could announce or post certain people's photo who have, I think, boyfriend, girlfriend, because sometimes women were like, they're not sure if their boyfriend has another girlfriend or a side chick or something like that. So somebody created a website, I think it was on Reddit or something, and they posted, different people, and then girls were finding out that their boyfriend had other girls somewhere else and all kind of things. So I think something similar like this needs to happen where, hey, if a lawyer has done you wrong, post it and say what the lawyer did that was wrong. Post it and say what that lawyer did. I think something like that needs to happen, because what else is happening, so that people can actually look at it and say, hey, but wait a while, that lawyer has done this individual wrong. Let me not use that lawyer. It'll also make lawyers account for themselves if they know that there's a portal or there's a website where people post up information about that particular lawyer or a group of lawyers. They will realize, hey, I don't want to get myself in trouble or for me to be bamboozling people or be put on this thing where I am going to end up losing business. So if the justice system doesn't want to hold it, I think having something like this might actually help.
And put them on an online portal so every Dominican can take a look at what is presented from this gentleman online. And Matt, I was doing some research myself, and Mr. Williams' website is still up. Here he is, still up, attracting people, but nobody pulls it down. And I did a little research myself to find out exactly how he's attracting people. And again, the legal profession, Matt, needs to see this.
But then again, it could have been the association of the government. It could be that,
Because how he really is attracting people, most attorneys have a standard fee for transfer, which is determined by law. So let's say that fee is, we're going to call it 2.5% of the figure. What he's been doing to so many people to get them through the doormat is actually reducing his fees to make the offer more attractive or let me
And it's not easy. And he really doing his research.
know that, let's say the attorney or the attorney says, hey, this is our standard fee. This is what he's actually making his more attractive. So he gets you in the door. And once they get you in the door, it's kind of like
You're trapped.
the Roach Motel. Once you get in, you don't get out. You don't get your money out. It's more like it. So literally, Kondwani Williams is running a Roach Motel where he's literally capturing everybody in there, taking your money, and then you just never see the money again. And for everybody who's been wondering about his behavior, if you've gone up by his office, Matt, you've seen the office closed. And he's not available via cell phone. You're not able to reach him. He's not in his office. And which attorney would literally abandon their clients? Who does that? Who hides from their clients? You cannot be a real attorney. And here we are in Dominica still allowing him to pull people off the internet and embezzle their funds.
Here's a bank manager. Here's a bank manager talking to me at this time.
Boy, that's something else. That is some heavy accusations right there. Hendrix, yes, sir. Hendrix, well, you're on a roll, Papa. Hendrix is saying when people cherish values, only then things will work. We continue to have people following the herd without questions. Yeah, it's called a herd mentality. We see the cow going this way, so let's go this way. We see it going that way, we go that way. They actually did a study on this on a psychological basis where they gave a number of individuals the same questions, and all the other individuals, like let's say there were 5 people, let's say there was 10 people, and only one person was not part of the gig, so to speak. There were 9 actors, only one real person. And they were asking the people simple questions. So when it comes, they did the first question, everybody got the question correct. Now, in the second question, what they did, they made sure that all the other 9 people gave the wrong answer. So let's say B was the right answer. All the other 9 people gave A as the correct answer, even though it was the wrong answer. When it came down to the 10th person is then stating, even though it's very clear to see that B is the correct answer, because all 9 individuals stated that A was the answer, he completely rejected the correct answer and stated A was the correct answer because everybody else stated A, even though it was very clear to see that B was the correct answer. Herd mentality right there. We will never get out of the slumber as a people. How long are we going to accept failure of the democratic system? Interesting. We accept brutality in Salisbury and see do nothing. Yeah, I never understood that. We are not known for creating jobs. It's accepted by society. Yeah, like the government have to give you jobs. Where you hearing government have to create jobs for people? Where you hear that happening, brothers and sisters? There's where you work in the government sector, that's fine, where you have to facilitate the government thing. But where you hear in government that has to go out there and create jobs for people so that the unemployment rate doesn't reflect it. Where you hear that happening? The government needs to put things in place so that jobs can be created. They're not creating jobs themselves, brothers and sisters. They have other things that they need to do. You put policies in place. Hey, we have these markets. We find these markets for the people. The people then decide within that country or within that certain village or whatever, hey, let us participate in that market. They need to find the markets, and then when they find the markets, then the people create the jobs, and then they move on. I think that is a classic liberal understanding right there. People accept everything in Dominica without challenges. The enemy starts with the people you elect to power. I think it starts with the people themselves. I think it starts upstairs. But then the people that contribute or continue that continuity, so to speak, is the government. And this is not right at all. Hendrix is also saying, can scared run his own company? He should give it a try. Show the public you can succeed in private business. I mean, he can probably run a company, but he can't run a country. I wonder if after independence lawyers I wonder if after independence, lawyers explain to the public what their rights are. I don't think people know what their rights are. I think that is a big problem right there as well. People have no clue what their rights are. They just go off whatever people say and, there's no proper explanation for anything. This is why it's vital that I do the next reaction Sunday, God spare. Tune into that, brothers and sisters. I think it's vital that we tune into I think it's the president of the Bar Association and some other lady that came on Matt to talk about it.
Matt, Jolly's right. I saw it when I was at both banks. They are expected to maintain the client account, but they commingle these accounts which violates both accounting and legal practices. This is a lawyer. Now, this is a former bank manager. He says, "Call me if you can." I may make an attempt to call him. So a lot of quote unquote, excuse my language, bullshit is going on there. Hello, talk to me, yes.
It is bullshit.
Lawyers, you've been exposed at this time, yes.
Yes, Matt. Good afternoon to you and your listeners.
Good afternoon to you. Mr. Jolly.
Mr. Jolly.
Yes.
Matt, my mother passed in 2012, and my father passed 4 years later. We found out that my father left everything to his wife, but then a lawyer in Dominica figured that he should take $12,000 from us, to probate the will. The fact that my mother is dead, the will should not have been probated. You understand? But he took $12,000 from us to probate a will that should not have been probated because my mother died way before my father. And, I do not have the largest financially that Mr. Jolly's have, so I cannot call anybody's name. Good afternoon.
And that's sometimes the problem. You don't have the money to follow up.
Well, Matt, that's the problem. And a lot of people are living in fear of these people. Like I said, they're like parasites here.
Yep.
This is parasitic behavior. This is worse than a tapeworm. These people are literally attaching themselves, Matt. And you know what's bad? And this is something I found out with dealing with the present lawyer that I'm dealing with right now. This person was actually taking other people's property and transferring it to other family members of his. Isn't that shocking? So basically here you're thinking, okay, my mother left me some land. I'm going to inherit this land. But Matt, the land is not under your name. And the money or the land is being secured for other things for that attorney. So here's the attorney in good faith saying I should transfer it to Matt Pelty, but instead they're transferring it to themselves and using it as assets for banks. So the banks are they're
putting it under a company.
Well. So here's another thing.
Let me tell you guys. Sometimes they put in your property in a company and putting themselves as board of directors. The lawyers then putting themselves as board of directors. Boy, Gasa. Boy, I tell you, boy.
Institutions should work to look at. Matt, what good is this FSU that we have? What are they doing? Are you kidding me? If anything was clearer than attorneys commingling accounts or defrauding the system, this would be something that FSU could arrest 10 people on today because we have evidence to show.
But that's the thing about the what is it what I'm looking for? That is the thing for the people who keep people to account. Just like I mentioned earlier about the situation involving the situation that took place with Vescott, tribunal, unions, just like these same things, brothers and sisters. It seems like we have certain figures that are supposed to hold certain people to account when wrongdoing is done, and then these people are just ineffective. They're just a waste of time. This is one of the reasons why I pointed out the union situation. I don't know why people play in unions for. Especially knowing that it seems like the union is working with the government. Because I see one of the things that, and guys, I think I'm stopping right there because it seems like they're doing the collar situation. And that's fine. But when I see that people are actually going into, trying their best to see if they can maneuver around certain things, man, and I'm talking about the lawyers right there. They're trying to maneuver around certain things because it seems like people are just not aware. Are you guys hearing me? I hear my thing go quiet. By the way, guys, don't forget to click the thumbs up button if you are hearing me right now. Hold on. Are we still on? Yes, we're still on. Okay. Okay, guys. Okay, am I still reading? Yes. Okay, guys, I'm still reading. If you guys are hearing me, let me know. And also, guys, if you are in the comment box, I'm not seeing the comment box. You have to talk in the live chat, like Hendrix is definitely doing. Big up yourself, Hendrix. He's saying, oh, even the government doesn't trust the lawyers who elected them to office. They spend millions of dollars hiring foreign lawyers. That's one of the things I never understood, especially the case involving Edison James, Lennox Linton, and Thompson Fontaine. They had to go for foreign lawyers. The same thing for the individuals who went to do the protests in Roseau. They didn't go for local lawyers, no, guys. You know that? They decided to go for Trinidadian lawyers. They're going for lawyers overseas. You're going for lawyers overseas. Guys, am I the only one that found this strange? Anyways, guys, I hope that people finally wisen up to see what is happening, because if this continues, more chaos will ensue. More lawyers will take advantage of the people. Like I stated before, brothers and sisters, not everybody, and Andy also indicated that sentiment as well. Not all the lawyers are corrupt. A good number of them are corrupt, no doubt about it, but not all the lawyers are corrupt. It's also up to us to also find out exactly what kind of proficiency these lawyers have, and if they cannot do the job, you need to go to a lawyer that is proficient, an expert in the right category when you need certain things done. You do not go to a civil lawyer to handle your business documents. You do not go to a business lawyer to handle your civil matter or your criminal matter. There's money saying that is something else. Yes, that is truly something else. The chaos that is enhanced by that boy. Guys, I don't think people, let me say it again. There's a particular bill that should be passed 15 years ago. And that bill has not been passed because it'll hold the lawyers accountable to the things that they have been doing. If that bill was passed, I'm sure the situation in what that Andy is involved, Anderson is involved in there, would not exist. But there doesn't seem to be any holding of account to lawyers when they do certain things. That is bamboozling the people. And another aspect of that, if I was a lawyer, would I want that to happen? That is the question. But I would have to make sure that I tie my shoes and I make sure my tie is on properly. But if my tie is not on properly and my shoes are not tied properly, then that means I am also part of the very system. I heard Joshua making a statement when I did the reaction on the Mr. Licks Reacts channel. Joshua stating that he saw the bill. He read it, he just cannot remember what is in the bill, which means that he hasn't seen the bill for quite some time. And apparently knowing that this bill will hold lawyers' account, apparently he himself doesn't care much on that very thing. I send that situation to a particular person. Up to now, that person has not responded to me yet. That person is a lawyer. And that made me wonder, really? Anyways, brothers and sisters, I appreciate you guys for definitely being a part of this here vibes. Man, I appreciate every single one of you guys for tuning in to see what's up with this here reaction. The live interaction reaction, guys, keep in mind, the live interaction reaction, I do not need to react to you guys like every week, like I want to do on the Mr. Licks reaction, guys. I react to you guys as it happens right there. I appreciate every single one of you guys for tuning in on this here vibes. 2 hours have passed since I've been on this thing. But yeah, guys, for those of you who were not part of the live interaction, leave your thoughts and comments in the comment box below. I would appreciate you guys definitely doing so. Don't forget to click the thumbs up button. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Of course, I will definitely be doing more of these things. I definitely enjoy it, man. As you can tell, I enjoy doing the reactions, no doubt about it, especially when individuals interact with me. So yes, guys, if you guys have any last thoughts, I'm gonna stay for like another 2 minutes. If you have any more comments you want to give. I see Hendrix is saying, when a lion gets old, they get tired. It's interesting that you said this. I actually saw a video of that sentiment where a lion, when it gets old, it separates itself from the crowd to die in peace. Now, when a lion gets old, it eventually gets tired. Do you think these people will ride this bull until the wheels fall off? Well, the bulls don't have wheels. We'll ride this truck until the wheels fall off, man. Because it doesn't seem like they're getting tired, no? And it seems like they're training the next generation to be as corrupt as them. That's probably why they decided, hey, let's get some new folks in so we can probably continue what we started. And then the corruption continues. But you know what the great book says? Nothing lasts forever. There'll be good times, there'll be bad times, there'll be corrupt times, there'll be times for justice. Just make sure you're on the right end of the stick. When a lion gets old, they get tired and cannot hunt anymore, and they become prey. Dominicans after independence has been an old lion, just waiting on the good Lord to take them to heaven. I don't think that is the case. The first part I agree, the second part I don't agree with. It seems like the Dominican people have been beaten, they have been defeated, and they are the cause of their own defeat. They're not waiting for anybody to come and save them. They are waiting for people to come and save them, but they are the ones who are literally making themselves defeated. They are not old. I think independence was a good thing. However, people apparently don't know their rights. And when you have a nation that is ignorant of their rights, when you have a nation that is ignorant of what independence is or what it truly means to be independent, when you have a nation that is void of understanding, when you have a nation that believes, oh, it's happening somewhere else, so it should happen here too. When you have nations and people growing up with that sentiment, who do you blame now? Because we as adults, we have the full responsibility for us to go out there and do research for ourselves. We have the full responsibility for us to make sure that we are able to handle our sphere, our circle. It is important for us, you know, like the great books just say, we are our brother's keeper. But sometimes that can be a bad thing, especially if you're in the corrupt zone and you're a brother's keeper for the individuals who are corrupt. But we are brother's keeper, brothers and sisters, and if one is faltering, we definitely need to say, hey, something needs to be done. And I agree with that sentiment that something definitely needs to be done. And if nothing is done, then we are doomed to repeat the same thing that happened to us, our ancestors back in the day. Anyways, guys, I'm going to end these vibrations right there. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the vibes. Thanks to all the individuals who interacted with me. Hopefully, I get to do more of these so that more people can come in. You know, it's been a while since I've been on this. But thanks to every single one of you guys who've tuned in to see what's up on these vibrations. I'm going to end it right now. So thanks to every single one of you guys. Again, don't forget to click the thumbs up button and subscribe for more vibrations. Click the thumbs up button. The individuals were in the building right there. Don't forget to click the thumbs up button. And of course, you guys can definitely watch the full video over again if you've missed anything, to check it out right there. Anyways, guys, about Mr. Lix once again, guys. Be real. Thanks for tuning into this here Brbptv live interaction reaction. And with that, stay right there, brothers and sisters. Be positive.